Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another live stream with me, Grizzly. This is Grizzly True Crime, and today we are looking at the devastating case of Malinda Hoagland from Pennsylvania, 12 years old, and she died on May 4th of 2024, and now her biological father and his girlfriend have been arrested and charged with a lot of things, except murder, attempted murder so far, because they're busy doing medical tests and things, and they say, the district attorney said that they might pursue murder charges. Okay, so welcome to all my moderators. Thank you so much for everything you do. Thank you to everyone who buys the mods coffees. I really appreciate it when you help me spoil the mods as well. So thank you so much. Welcome to all my members, patrons, all existing subscribers, and anyone who's new here, any friends and family of Malinda, even her young brother, anyone who knew her school friends. I hope that everyone feels safe here with us. So I'm going to do a quick presentation, then we're going to watch a press conference, and I've got articles and things to show you. I'm going to warn you, you might get a little mad. Just a little. It's devastating. Really, so trigger warning, it involves child abuse, and it is two absolutely vile creatures, honestly. And they really should have never, ever been taking care of children. So, okay. Malinda Hoagland, born in 2012, 12 years old, died May 4th of 2024, and she's from West, now how do we say this local? West Caln Township in Chester County, Pennsylvania. The last time we were in Chester County, Pennsylvania, do you remember when, everyone? Anyone? Were you here when we were there last? Because that was about Danilo Cavalcante. I actually just quickly want to, I just want to speed up my presentation. I remember I slowed it down the other day. Hold on. Okay, otherwise we have to wait forever for the next slide. So here we go. Yeah, Phoebe says, just reading the headline, I'm already mad. Ooh, you're going to be so mad, and it's very heartbreaking. Please like and share. Remember, it's not because you like the type of case, you know what I mean? Like, the content is very grim. It's terrible. Never feel bad for liking it so that others can learn information. There's always lessons that one can learn from these cases and things to look out for. If you see something, say something. And just to, raise awareness of what happened here. Thank you so much. Glass Onion says, Caln, is that how you say that? Even in South African, that's going to be a little different maybe. Okay, so, oh wow. Here is her biological father, Rendell Hoagland, and his girlfriend, Cindy Warren, who's previously spent time in prison for child abuse. What? Now, Cindy's 9-year-old son also lived in the home. He's since been removed from the home, and they say he's safe, and he actually had no injuries. Which, I'm so thankful that he had no injuries. It's just so devastating to hear about all the injuries that this beautiful 12-year-old girl had. Look at her. Oh, my word. So just to give you a picture of, the home, okay? Actually, while I'm at it, I want to show you this. I'll show you this very quickly. Hold on. So you could just picture the home. We like to visualize, right? Here we go. This was the home where they all stayed. And it's a nice property, sizable property in I think it's called Coatesville, Westchester, Pennsylvania. We'll do some map time later as well. I'll just show you. But let me just put the sound off, and then you can actually see a little drone footage here. Oh no, look at these two. So, there you go. All right, continuing on with our presentation. On May 4th of 2024, the Westchester police received a 911 call to report that a 12-year-old girl had hit a tree while riding her bicycle in West Caln Township this past weekend. Now, I just checked, May 4th was a Saturday, so I don't know if the article just said it. The way they worded everything that I read was like, the person who was her biological father who called 911 was like, oh, this past weekend, yeah, she hit a tree while riding her bicycle. Officers arrived on scene to find Malinda Hoagland unconscious in the back seat of a pickup truck. They observed that she looked emaciated, had a weak pulse, and was barely alive. Malinda was rushed to the nearby Paoli hospital, where she was later pronounced dead. Her organs had failed. She weighed only 50 pounds. 50 pounds at 12 years old. I mean, I'm just quickly checking again for you. I'll do the conversion for you. Paoli. Well, I want to say it with that accent. Paoli. I mean, Hoagland, I'm also saying like that instead of Hoagland. 22.6 kilograms is all she weighed, okay? Oh, my word. She was covered in bruises. She had broken bones, fractures, abrasions all over her body. I also wrote something down here that I wanted to share with you. Wait, where was it? Oh, no, that's other notes. Okay, so many injuries that concerned doctors a lot. They really tried to save her life and they couldn't. She died that day. So her parents said that she got the injuries from a mountain bike crash, and then added that she also got injured on a water slide incident on a recent camping trip. Now, do you really think that they took her on a camping trip? I don't think so, based on everything that we hear. I don't yet have the probable cause affidavits. I think that's going to take a few days to get, to request it, and it's not always guaranteed either that one will get it, but I've gathered as much information as I possibly can, and they say that they claim that they took her to the Yogi Bear's Jellystone Park Camp Resort. I don't think so. They abused this girl so much. I mean, they filmed things as well. We're going to get to that. We're not going to see anything. I just mean to that information. So I don't think they went on a like random camping trip. That's just their story. That's why I put it like this, okay? In air quotes. Air quotes here, actual quotes on the presentation. Now, they said when the doctors asked and the investigators obviously asked, well, why does she weigh 50 pounds? Again, 22.6 kilograms. Why is she so skinny? What's going on here? They said, yeah, she's been losing weight for about 2.5 months. And they said that they'd made a doctor's appointment to address the issue. They're the issue. The issue is allegedly them and the abuse that they inflicted on her. Now, it's a little more than allegedly. Normally, of course, it's allegedly innocent until proven guilty. Yes, indeed. But they found more than 100 disturbing videos where they'd actually been filming themselves abusing her, making as if it's boot camp. So they have it. It's kind of like Stefan Stearns and Madeline Soto. There's a lot of evidence that they have, digital evidence that they've said that they have, right? Okay. So, Rendell, that's the father, said that he found out that Malinda was selling snacks at school, so food at school, and decided that's it, he's going to homeschool her. She was last seen at school on November 30th of 2023, and she went to the North Brandywine Middle School. And she was last seen there November 30th of 2023, where she was in middle school. In January of 2024, she joined a cyber school. Now, I wonder if she really did, how many classes she did, how she did in those classes. Shame, man. Investigators executed a search warrant on the property and seized several electronic devices from the camper and in the home. There were over 100 disturbing videos of abuse found, as well as text messages that were deleted between the couple, which they recovered, where they were discussing Malinda's deteriorating condition with each other, like as in literally talking about it and what else they could do. The videos showed her being shackled to furniture, made to do squats, run in place, and she was verbally abused over a speaker system. Apparently there was like an in-house camera system with a speaker system, and they would be shouting commands at her, berating her, verbally abusing her over the speaker system, making her do all this exercise. And they also shackled her in various places in the house, not just like one area, in the basement and throughout the house is what they said. So that really sucks as well. Paoli. You guys are still saying Paoli, okay, for the hospital that she was sent to. Shame, man. So, wow. They sometimes also denied her food, even after doing strenuous physical exercise, which makes sense because she was only 50 pounds, 12 years old. Now, Cindy Warren and Rendell Hoagland are alleged to have acted in concert with intention of terrorizing and abusing the child and continued their actions until the child's death. So they're saying it's several months. I don't know how long it really went on for, but they pulled her out of school in November of 2023. So at least since then. Now, this little screenshot, I'm going to read you the full article in a moment, but prepare to get mad because they say, that's her, by the way. That little screenshot, that's her. A child killer's wife sentenced for endangering a child's welfare. Not this child, a different one. What? Cindy Warren has a prior conviction for endangering the welfare of a child in Monroe County related to her son and the beating death of a 2-year-old child in her care. Rendell Hoagland and Warren are both charged with attempted criminal homicide, aggravated assault, kidnapping, as well as other related charges, many, according to prosecutors, who add that both could be charged with murder depending on what further medical evidence reveals. Both are being held on a $1 million cash bond each. Yeah, Phoebe says, so at least since then they wanted to hide the abuse. Okay. Yes, someone says like Timothy Ferguson. It does remind me of that case as well. That Shanda Vander Ark. It's got similar vibes. Look at those two. Oh, man. Oh, wow. We've got a blank page. That means we're at the end of our presentation time. So I'm going to quickly now show you the map. And then we're going to look at the press conference together. Okay, so just give it 1 second. Okay, we got a little bit of map time here for you. So taking us to Westchester, Pennsylvania. All right, so this is the Yogi Bear's Jellystone Park Camp Resort where they claim they recently went for a camping trip before the 911 call was made on May 4th. They said they went there, I don't know when, they claim to have been there. I'm sure the police are going to check those records to see if they were really there. If they were there, okay, but I'm pretty sure, based on what they found on the phones, that her injuries were not from that. But they said that she had a mountain bike crash that happened there and a water slide incident. Now, where they stayed was in Coatesville, and that is, they said it's the 200 block of Reed Road in Coatesville. Is Stefan here? Is he telling people to buckle up? Stefan's always reminding you guys, buckle up, now she's driving. Okay, so 200 Reed Road. And if we look at it, wait, I've got to look closer again. It's this property here. You could see it from the drone footage they showed, and then you could see the same little pond thingy here, and then this pool, and just how the buildings are, right? This is where, I mean, what a beautiful area. Just monsters living amongst all these people. Doing the worst thing, you know? Abusing a 12-year-old girl in front of her brother. I mean, the 9-year-old, well, not really brother, but you know what I mean, like a step sibling. Cindy Warren's son living there in the home too. Okay, so that's where they stayed. And then the hospital, Paoli, where they took her to. It's about half an hour away, actually, because they said a nearby hospital, so I just wanted to see where it is. And it's over here. Paoli Hospital Emergency Room. And that's where she died on May 4th of 2024. Shame, man. And her school was not far from home. If she lived there on that 200 Reed Road, she went to this North Brandywine Middle School. Shame, and her poor friends must be so shocked. You know? How very sad. Okay, so now what I've got for you is the press conference. So hold on, let me just do it like this so that I can bring it up for us and boost it. This district attorney is so emotional, which is nice to see. You know, he really is invested in the case and just devastated by what happened here. Okay, so let's have a listen to this press conference. It's about 16 minutes.
Good afternoon. Today it's my somber duty to discuss the death of 12-year-old Malinda Hoagland. We are here to announce that we've arrested Malinda's biological father, Rendell Hoagland, and his girlfriend, Cindy Warren, on charges of attempted homicide, aggravated assault of a child, kidnapping, and other related charges. As always in our justice system, these defendants are innocent until proven guilty, and what I'm going to be talking about today is going to be difficult to hear, and I may struggle to get some of the facts about this case out. So I ask that you please bear with me. On Saturday, May 4th, the West Caln Police Department and the Westwood EMS responded to a 911 call from Rendell.
He's going to go over a very similar timeline. I just wanted to first that you have that foundation. I just want to tell you this is Christopher de Barrena-Sarobe. I don't know if that's how you say his name exactly, but he's the Westchester District Attorney, and this press conference was from May 7th of 2024.
Rendell Hoagland, who reported that Malinda was unconscious and non-responsive. Shockingly, they found a 12-year-old girl who was broken and barely alive. Our investigation revealed that Rendell Hoagland and Cindy Warren subjected Malinda to evil and torment that no child should ever have to endure, and they did it for months. After the 911 call, Malinda was whisked away from the to Paoli Trauma Center, and she was given top-flight medical treatment. But it was not enough. Doctors found a child that was emaciated. She weighed 50 pounds. She was covered in bruises. She had a half dozen broken bones at least. Her organs were failing. And ultimately, she died while she was being treated at the hospital. Our investigation began as soon as the 911 call ended. Police slowly learned that Malinda had been pulled out of middle school in late November and early December and shifted to an online cyber school.
There's actually a law in some states preventing that from happening, which I think is called Rayleigh's Law. And let me just quickly show you that. Because one would think that if anyone has previously abused children, they should not be allowed to homeschool. So they said the legislation was fashioned after what's known as Rayleigh's Law, which was named for an 8-year-old girl who died of horrific abuse. Her parents withdrew her from school because teachers reported her abuse. I really hope that a law like that will become national. Right? Never mind, international. Okay? So just to let you know that. As I think of things, I will keep you posted as we watch this press conference from May 7th of 2024.
They reviewed cell phones used by Rendell Hoagland and Cindy Warren as part of the investigation. They noted that Cindy Warren had deleted a number of her text messages with Rendell. They found dozens and dozens of videos stored on both phones from the defendant's in-home camera system that also had speakers attached to those cameras. Those videos showed that Malinda was ankle cuffed to furniture and verbally berated by the defendants through that in-camera speaker system. The videos showed that they would punish her by demanding strenuous physical exercise, such as squats and running in place while she was still shackled. And they showed that she would be punished for perceived slights by being denied food, sometimes for days. And these videos started months ago. The punishments were seemingly systematic. Based on this and other evidence, we decided to charge the defendants with attempted murder. They were arrested last night. Their bail was set this morning at $1 million cash. We are awaiting a variety of medical-related reviews and reports to be concluded, at which point we will decide whether to charge the defendants with murder of Malinda. These reports can take weeks to obtain, and we'll determine whether those charges are warranted when we have a chance to thoroughly review all the evidence. And because this is an ongoing investigation with respect to those potential charges, I'm not going to be taking any hypothetical questions about murder today.
Just a quick pause. What I was talking now with Rayleigh's Law, they said sponsored by Delshawn Fluharty, D, Ohio. The bill, so there's a bill now, HB 4440, bars parents and other homeschool teachers from homeschooling if there is a CPS investigation of abuse or neglect or a conviction for DV. And if, for instance, this Rayleigh's law, now known by this bill, was in place in this state, then they wouldn't have been allowed to pull Malinda out of school and homeschool her, right?
But in the following days and weeks, everyone is going to ask, how could this happen to a 12-year-old in America? I don't have the answers right now, but what I can say immediately is that Malinda seemingly had limited access, incredibly limited access to the outside world from the moment that she was pulled from school. And what I can also say is that on Saturday night, when police and first responders truly encountered Malinda in a state where they could recognize something was wrong, they did everything in their power to save her. And while we wish that the 911 call had happened sooner, it's very clear that everyone rang every alarm in every direction to make sure that she was taken to the best place and that the best investigation could happen in an attempt to make sure that she could be safe if she could be saved. So if there's something to take from this right now, it's that if you have concerns about the safety of a child, even of a child that you hardly know, you should say something. Call 911. Call Childline at 1-800-932-0313.
I put all the numbers in the description box for you guys. And Gaynor says, is this a death penalty state? So they actually say capital punishment is a legal punishment in Pennsylvania. Despite remaining a legal penalty, there have been no executions in Pennsylvania since 1999 and only 3 since 1976. So could be, right? Ellie B from Tennessee, my goodness, thank you so much. You said, what can we as a community do to help stop this from happening? Surely there's something that can be done to save these innocent babies or children being abused or killed by parents every day. As someone who wants a child but can't, it makes me sick. I'm so sorry, Ellie B. It's absolutely sickening and heartbreaking, and what we can do is talk about it, raise awareness, teach people that if they see something, they got to say something, because you can report things anonymously as well. I don't know. It's just terrible. And hopefully something like, sharing, for example, Rayleigh's Law, which is that bill. It was renamed now to that bill 4440 in Ohio. Something like that. If that could be something that could be in every state or every country, that would be amazing. So that abusers can't homeschool children. Because how many cases have you seen where the kids who are abused get pulled out of school? Yeah, because they can't hide the injuries anymore. And then they're homeschooled. And then there's so much abuse going on in the home and people only find out much later. Of course, this was even worse during COVID, right? Oh my goodness. Thank you, Pernille. Okay, thank you all for being here.
Childline reports can be even anonymous when you file them correctly. And if you think you have information about Malinda's case, please contact the Chester County detectives immediately at 610-344-6866. I want to end by saying a couple more things. First, Malinda's family has provided us with a photograph of her from when she was younger. That just came in recently. We're going to email that to you folks. Please consider using that in your visuals going forward. And I would be also remiss in not thanking all of our law enforcement partners in this case. I want to thank Chief Martinez from the West Caln Police Department, who's here to my left. The Pennsylvania State Police Troop J, who helped in a variety of different ways in multiple counties. I want to thank the West Brandywine Police Department, Willistown Township Police Department, South Coatesville Borough Police, Coatesville City Police, and other departments I'm sure I'm failing to recognize for their immediate and unquestioning assistance when we called asking for even small favors. And I want to thank the members of my office, essentially my entire team of county detectives and First Assistant District Attorney Aaron O'Brien, who worked essentially 72 hours straight to make this arrest last night happen, to give us an idea of what Malinda was truly facing. This is not an easy case. There is assuredly a lot more work to do. But together we will get justice for Malinda. Our thoughts and our prayers are with her and her family. I'll now open it up to your questions.
Were there other children in the home? Were there other children in the home?
There's a 9-year-old child in the home that is Cindy Warren's biological child.
He's witnessed some bad things in his life. We're going to go over an article from Cindy Warren's past as well. Although, at that point, he wouldn't have been born yet. But I'm sure he's witnessed some really terrible things in his life. Only 9 years old. Shame, man. I wanted to tell you something else, but now I forgot what it is. I'll keep going and then tell you when I remember.
Appears to have been very well treated and unharmed and is out of her custody currently, obviously.
Did either of these two, Cindy in particular, have a prior history of abuse of a child?
So I am ethically constrained from answering questions about people's criminal histories in these press conferences. You can consult the materials and make a determination on your
pulled her out of school.
We're going to consult those materials, okay? Also, I do not know where her biological mom is. If anyone else knows, please let me know. I've tried to look, I can't find. I'll show you a picture as well that I found where they say, because they said when Malinda was younger, they've got a picture of that and they're going to email it to people. I've only found one other picture of her on Facebook.
Who pulled her out, her mother or the father?
Sorry, her biological mother is elsewhere in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, elsewhere, but I don't know what the circumstances are, right?
Her father and Cindy pulled her out of school is the best of our understanding currently. I know these two have been patiently trying to chime in, so.
Do you believe the abuse was occurring before she was pulled out of school, or the abuse started after that?
We're still working on a timeline. We have a lot of electronic evidence that we are working through right now, so I don't want to give, I want to make sure that I give precise answers when we can, but right now I can't answer that.
Has the school provided any information about her? Have you reached out to school?
We've been working with every school that we can in the brief 72 hours that we have, really been going forward on this case full energy. So every agency that we've worked with has been cooperative so far. That's what I can say.
Do you know if she was appearing in person in this Cyber school, and by in person, was she virtually showing up on camera?
She was virtually showing up on camera based on some of the videos that we reviewed, but she was shackled below for where the camera was.
There was nothing, no red flags from what they could visibly see?
No, I mean, when we executed search warrants at the house was in good condition. Currently, we do not see how anyone on the other side of that screen could have known what was going on. If that changes, we will update you.
Okay, and that being said, if things are looking okay on their end, there's no in-person follow-up happening when someone's pulled out of school and when schools, if there's no obligation, I know you don't work in the district, there's no obligation for there to be home visits or anything like that, if there's no red flag?
We have a right to homeschool our children, right? And so while I think there was at some point.
See, that's where they need Rayleigh's law. We have a right to homeschool our children unless you have prior convictions for DV or child abuse, right? It should be like that. It's not like that in every state. Thank you so much, NEP. I've corrected my title to make sure that Malinda's name is spelled correctly. I added the D. Thank you so much. And thank you for sending me that picture. And it says that her birthday was July 4th, okay, of July 4th of 2012. Yes. Thank you so much for sending me that.
A red flag raised by the school, back in the fall or early winter. I don't think there's anything anyone could have done at that time. We're still trying to determine what happened. Our focus has been on documenting, understanding injuries, and pursuing charges.
For clarification, how do we spell her name? You said Malinda or Malinda?
Malinda.
How do we spell it?
I believe it's Malinda.
Malinda. Last name is Hoagland?
Yes, ma'am.
And then when you said it seemed like the torment was systematic, can you clarify what you mean by that?
We have dozens of videos that are date and time stamped, and it's repeated. It's systematic.
Like routine? Like if you do this, this is what we do?
I don't know. I would like. We are still processing it, but that's just how I, in normal terms, would describe it.
Does she have
I do remember what I was going to tell you. is that people are honoring her by wearing the color blue. That's why I'm wearing the color blue specifically today as well. Thank you, Jackie Sullivan, for the blue hearts that you're sharing in chat as well. So some of her school friends are wearing blue shirts as well, and people are honoring her with that, just so that you know. So if you do want to share blue hearts in the chat, you can.
A room in the house? Do they keep her in a certain area? Was she allowed outside? Any of that kind of thing?
She has a bedroom in the house. She was at times shackled in the basement of the home. She was outside on, I think, rare occasions, right? She was seen at a campground in Lancaster County over the weekend, right? But that's as far as we've gotten in terms of how frequently she was outside.
About that campground, believe that there was some abuse happening at that campground as well. Is that the second home for them?
I mean, they would frequent Jellystone in Lancaster County with some regularity, but I can't we don't have precise answers on that right now.
Do you think the bike accident really happened?
I'm not going to speculate on what it is. Whether it happened or not, it doesn't account for dozens of broken bones and a 12-year-old being 50 pounds.
Exactly. Whether the bike accident happened or not. Frugal Living says, when did this happen? I live in Coatesville and haven't heard of this. It happened on May 4th of 2024. And so May 4th this year, obviously just a few days ago. And then they were arrested on May 6th. And this press conference happened on May 7th.
Did the abuse happen in the home or were there outbuildings?
There are outbuildings on the property. Right now, our focus is inside the home.
And what do you think? Viewed these videos again? These videos of the abuse they then watched them? Like they have like a library of them kind of thing?
No, I mean, you have to sort of, I know people don't think about this, but cell phones work a variety of different ways. So when you view a video, your phone will often store that video that you viewed somewhere else on the phone that you don't access. We call it cached. So, we're still working through the technical ways that these videos were preserved, but I don't believe, as I stand here right now, and again, this is ongoing, and we've been at this for no more than 3 full days, that they were purposefully saving these videos.
Can you give us an idea of what they did for a living, these two parents?
Purposely saving these videos. How sickening is that? This happened in Coatesville. For anyone just joining now, we're looking at the case of Malinda Hoagland, who died on May 4th of 2024 after suffering months of abuse alleged by the district attorney that we're hearing from here, right? The purple one, I think you missed who made the 911 call in the beginning. It was her biological father, Rendell Hoagland. He made the 911 call and said that she had a bicycle accident. And so when the police arrived, they found her in the back seat of a pickup truck, and they said she had a weak pulse, was barely alive, was unconscious. So she was rushed to the hospital. And also someone said earlier about the hospital, like why the Paoli hospital, wait, let me just see. Behavior Analysis and Coffee said, I think she was brought to Paoli Hospital as it is a level 2 trauma center. Chesco Hospital is not a trauma center. So she was rushed there. She had fractured bones, abrasions, bruises, so many injuries. Her organs failed. And she died that day, May 4th of 2024, 12 years old. She was pulled out of school November of 2023. Her father said that that's it. She's selling snacks at school. He's pulling her out. And then in January of 2024, they signed her up for some kind of online schooling, homeschooling, but they actually said it's cyber school. And so they would document, film their abuse of her, shouting at her, making her do squats, chaining her, shackling her to furniture in various rooms throughout the house, including the basement. They had a padlock on, the pantry. She can get access to food, all sorts of things. Why? I don't know. I wish we could understand people like this. Why? Why do people do this? Now, where's her biological mother? I'm not sure. Well, they said elsewhere in Pennsylvania. I don't know the circumstances of, why she doesn't have custody of her, or if she does, or if it's shared custody. I have no idea. I can't find too much information on her mother besides her name. If I find more information, of course, this will be our first conversation about the case. If there's more that comes out, if I get the probable cause affidavits, if we could ever hear the 911 call, things like that, then of course we meet again, right? So we're almost done with this press conference that we're watching that happened on May 7th of 2024.
and how they
Sure.
were able to basically pull the wool over the eyes of everybody while this was going on behind closed doors. I mean, there were no signs.
Look, my understanding is that Rendell Hoagland is a welder, and that Cindy Warren stays home, and they keep to themselves, right? And when you keep to yourselves, and West Caln's not completely raw, but in a relatively, we're not on top of each other in row homes like we can be in Philadelphia, right? If you don't give an opportunity for children to get out, and if you can essentially through a sheer terror campaign train your child to not say anything because they're so terrified of the repercussions, this is apparently can happen.
And can you tell us if Malinda suffered from any kind of mental or health problem?
I don't, not to my knowledge as I stand right here, but we have a lot of medical records that we are slowly getting in that we need to review in this case. So I'm not that's just where we stand right now.
I gotta ask you a human question.
Sure.
You said,
A human question coming up, okay? Like, how does it affect the district attorney? I hope you can hear it because I boosted the sound as much as I can. Also, I just quickly want to get to a comment where Law Nerd PHL said, we have a moratorium on the DP in Pennsylvania. Serial killer Gary Heidnik was the last person killed in July of 1999. Okay, very interesting. So Berliner Flanze said some of the videos were home security camera footage. Yes, they were indeed. They had this home security camera system, and that's where they would shout at her on the speakers that were included in the system, which is interesting as well. Like, what the hell is going on there? Are they trying to make it like the army or like boot camp? Like, what is happening? And they took videos as well, and they also talked about her deteriorating condition in text messages between each other. So I think the videos were just found on the devices and on the home security camera system, and the text messages they tried to delete. Okay, that they tried to delete, but they recovered those. So yes, thank you so much, NEP. I'll check it out now.
broken and barely alive, evil and tormented for months, 50 pounds, covered in bruises, half dozen broken bones, organ failure. I'm reading here, she allegedly had a hood over her head. As a human being, when you look at something like this, what goes through your mind?
I think we've all asked ourselves over the past few days, like, when the last time Malinda was ever loved. So it's an awful thing to think about.
Do you have any sense of why she was targeted and not the other children?
No, we're still investigating. Like I said, we felt like we had enough evidence to move forward with charges today, and we weren't going to wait another day to answer a lot of the same questions that everybody has. And we needed to make sure that based on what we saw, that they were in custody as soon as we could put them in custody. That's what we did. So I fully expect that we will be back before you in the coming days or weeks to try and shed some light on that. I will also tell you that in my experience in cases like this, there are no answers that make sense. It's a reminder that there is evil in this world, and we all need to be vigilant for it and come together as a community to make sure that we can be safe.
For clarification, you said attempted murder, but the docket says homicide, murder-homicide. What?
I call it colloquially attempt murder, attempt homicide. They're the same thing.
Okay, so we can report that the charge that they're facing is homicide.
They're charged with attempted homicide
Okay.
or attempted murder, whichever one you would like to choose. All right, well, if there are no more questions, I want to thank you all for coming and reporting on this very difficult case. Thank you.
It is a very difficult case. It is. I hope that you're all okay. Thank you so much for being here with me as we go through this case. Please do share it so that others can learn about it too. Ms. Holmes, you said thank you for covering this justice for Malinda. Yes, and if you guys wonder why people are sharing blue hearts in the chat, that's what people in her community and school friends are doing in honor of her. Thank you to everyone who's sending me emails. If you see me glancing to the side the whole time, just see a lot of emails pouring in with some additional information and things like that. For example, Where's that picture? Wait. The picture now. I've got one. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah. So here they say Chester County and PA failed Malinda. And here they say this is Malinda in the summer of 2023. Let me just take off this banner. The summer of 2023. Wow. Here is the picture that they shared. Well, that's being shared on social media a lot, that one. And this one from the summer of 2023. Shame, man. My goodness. So they said, Malinda Hoagland, say this poor child's name, remember it. She didn't have to die. In my opinion, the state, the county, the very system that was supposed to protect her, in fact, failed her. Adults failed her. How is it nothing was done to save the child? What's the deal with the Childline in PA? What's the deal with the Children and Youth Services in Chester County, Pennsylvania? Why didn't the school district also call the police? Are they not allowed to call the police? Or did they call the police? What's the point of having a system to protect kids if it doesn't protect the kids? I think we're all asking those questions, right? Below is a statement from the woman who is the superintendent of the Coatesville School District. So this is Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Sorry, not sorry. Those are hollow words. It is too late. Wearing blue sounds nice, but it would have been better if this child had actually been paid attention to and was safe and not dead. So here they say, it is with an extremely heavy heart that I share with you the devastating and tragic news that one of our former students, 12-year-old Malinda Hoagland, was found dead over the weekend, a victim of inhumane abuse by her father and his girlfriend. While this horrific news was shared in a press conference and is making headlines in the media today, the district just learnt of this child's death late this morning, and we've been working to get details, understand and process this information, and communicate with our entire school community. Malinda Hoagland was enrolled at Kings Highway Elementary in April 2022 and then continued on to Scott Middle School and then North Brandywine Middle School. So also school hopped a lot and then was homeschooled. In the scenario, that would be a red flag. It's not always a red flag, but in context, right? So you guys are all asking, why is it attempted if she died? Because they're still doing medical tests and, you know, the coroner, medical examiners busy to see if they could prosecute murder charges, right? But I'll show you the docket that they have with lots and lots of charges, okay? So shortly thereafter, so they said, hold on, then Brandywine Middle School, our staff diligently reported concerns. Our staff reported concerns about Malinda's care to Childline, the state agency that receives and manages concerns regarding child abuse. Shortly thereafter, her family withdrew her from our schools in December of 2023 and enrolled her in another cyber charter school. Her younger brother remained a student at Kings Highway. He is now in protective custody and is expected to be relocated to another county and school district. This news shakes our entire school community, and we are deeply saddened and upset by the horrific details of the abuse this child suffered. Counselors trained in grief and trauma support will be available at Kings Highway Elementary School, Scott MS, and North Brandywine MS tomorrow for both staff and students who may need to speak with someone or want some help processing this tragedy. I know we join collectively in the mourning the life of this child. No matter the length of time a child is a student in our school district, every child matters deeply, and their welfare and well-being is critically important to us. We will collaborate in the coming days on ways in which we can honor Malinda's life as a school community and support our students as they cope with this tragic information with care and support for all. Dr. Catherine van Voeren. I'll say van Voeren. Van Voeren? How do you guys say it? Van Voeren, is that how that would be said, right? Superintendent, Coatesville Area School District. So that's what we have there. I think this one is her biological mother. April 8th of 2021, she said, and you don't think I haven't thought all I could to figure out why she gets back to me. She reeks like cigarette smoke that pisses me off. Rendell, her lungs. She's only 9 years old. Come on, ass. Okay. So it seemed like there was a bit of back and forth there. Here's another picture of her. Shame. Okay. You say here, Abby Hoagland, baby girl, you were always loved. I'm so sorry. We didn't know what was happening to you. We will get justice that you deserved. Here's some more pictures as well, you know, and some of her extended family sharing how they feel about all of this. This baby deserved more out of life than she was ever offered. My heart breaks knowing if only someone knew that she would still be here with us. If only there were signs. I will always love you. Rest in peace, little angel. #justice for Malinda. Oh my goodness. Okay, So Stefan said attempted murder charges for now. They needed that to arrest them. Further charges like murder can be added later. Absolutely. So they are still doing a medical test for that. So we looked at the press conference. I just quickly want to show you now. This would be their charges. Okay, this one is for, let me just quickly see. Thank you to Grizzly Cat for helping me get this today. She's always a great help for court documents and things. Okay, so sorry, I'm just going to take this picture for a second. Criminal docket. This is for Cindy Marie Warren. And you could see here the case is active, awaiting preliminary hearing. Preliminary hearing, this one, it says the 13th. What's the date today? The 11th. So the 13th is on Monday, another preliminary hearing. Wait, a preliminary hearing. And then it goes also the 8th of July. Okay, so maybe on Monday, I don't know if we'll see them in court or not, or what will happen, but there's a preliminary hearing scheduled for then. And then if you just go down and you just look at these, look at the charges. Whoa. I mean, criminal attempt, criminal homicide. You see, attempt. They say attempt. That's why they specified in that press conference. Aggravated assault, victim less than 13, and defendant 18 or older. So if you didn't know, Cindy Warren, the girlfriend of her biological father's 45 years old, and the dad, Rendell Hoagland, is 52 years old. Okay, look at this. Conspiracy, aggravated assault, victim less than 13, defendant 18 or older, kidnapping of minor, facilitate felony or flight, conspiracy, kidnapping of minor, unlawful restraint of a minor or parent, risk of bodily injury, simple assault, all these things. I'm saying all the YouTube's favorite words. YouTube is like, wait, what is this lady talking about now? So, parent, guardian, other commits offense, obstruction. You could just see all of this. Tamper with or fabricate physical evidence, kidnapping of a minor, criminal conspiracy, engaging in kidnapping of a minor. So they have a lot of charges to keep them behind bars for a very long time. And while they are finishing up all the, the autopsy and everything, to then maybe add murder charges. He's also got similar charges, as you could see. This is his ones. Preliminary hearing is also for the 13th of the 5th at 9 a.m. And this is for Rendell A. Hoagland, 52 years old. Look at his charges. Yes. Okay, so we've got that. There's many things I want to show you. Now, someone was asking earlier, is it a very rural area? I guess it's quite rural, right? Where they stay here. We did some map time a little bit earlier, so if you want to check it out again, here's West Brandywine Park. It looks like a beautiful area. West Branch, Brandywine Creek. Okay, and it was the father that called 911. Let me show you a picture of them again. Here we go. This is a picture of the victim, Malinda Hoagland. And here they are. The father, Rendell Hoagland, and his girlfriend, Cindy Warren. Okay? So what I'm going to show you now is this article, which is infuriating because she's had charges before. Child killer's wife sentenced for endangering a child's welfare. And this was in 2009. What? Cindy Warren, the girlfriend of this biological father, who was participating in filming things and abusing Malinda. Okay. Stroudsburg. Cindy Warren, 30, of East Stroudsburg, was sentenced Wednesday to, this was 2009, to 3 to 7 years in state prison after pleading guilty to endangering the welfare of her son, Isaiah, now 5. A concerned neighbor's phone call led police in January of 2007 to discover Isaiah had been physically abused by his father, McKinley Warren Jr., 43. Warren in December pleaded guilty to both abusing the boy and causing a head injury that led to the December 2000 death of his daughter, Jessica Bach, 2 years old, who was Isaiah's half-sister. So, just to clarify, Cindy, the girlfriend of this father of Malinda, observed previous partner kill a 2-year-old girl, and then she goes on to abuse Malinda as well? Like, what is going on here? Oh my word. So they say Warren was sentenced to 25 to 50 years in state prison for both crimes. On Wednesday, Cindy Warren's friends and brother asked Monroe County Court Judge Margarita Worthington to show leniency. Oh, how do you feel now? Sorry to say, just like, damn, 15 years later, but how do you feel now? They described Warren as a kind, loving, fun mother who herself was abused by a controlling husband and whom no one would help. Unless you walked in Cindy's shoes, you can never understand what she's been through, said her friend. This was again 2009, Diane Silver. 3 times she was denied a protection from abuse order for herself and her children. Whenever she called police to her home, she would always be the one who ended up being taken away in handcuffs, not her husband, Silver said. He knew how to twist the truth. The day that she lost her children is the day her sentence started. Monroe County Children and Youth Services has placed the children with McKinley Warren's relatives. I've known Cindy for 20 years, said a tearful Natasha Edinger, Warren's friend. She was a very good mother, but when her husband was around, she had no voice. Nobody knows what she went through. So sometimes I wonder, it's kind of like why we asked about Kayla Montgomery, there's no excuse whatsoever. But one wonders if they let these abusive males, go for the children, the little girls, rather than them. That's sickening. Do the right thing. Call 911, call CPS, do something. Oh my word. Don't participate in the abuse either. What? So they said Warren's older brother said Cindy's been a very loving person ever since she was a little girl. She's never done anything to take away my respect for her. How about now? She kept calling the authorities who did nothing until finally it took an outsider calling for them to do anything. Just being away from her husband is a good thing for her. But for her to now lose her freedom is unfair. She doesn't deserve this. Stroud Area Regional Police Captain William Parrish, who investigated both Jessica's death and Isaiah's abuse, struggled with tears as a parent himself when refuting certain statements made by Warren's supporters. To say that she did all she could to get the authorities involved is erroneous, Parrish said. At any time, she could have identified her husband as the one who caused her stepdaughter's death and abused her son, but she refused to do so. Instead, she lied with her husband about how Jessica got hurt and left it to a neighbor to report Isaiah's abuse. Whenever neighbors complained about her and her husband being drunk, loud, and boisterous, and we responded to their home, she would be the one who remained loud and disorderly while her husband calmed down. So she would be the one taken away, he said. On December 1st of 2000, the Warrens took Jessica to Pocono Medical Center and told hospital personnel that she had fallen out of their parked car and hit her head on a curb. You see who's making up stories here? I'm seeing patterns. There's a common denominator, and it's actually the woman here. Jessica was then flown to the Children's Hospital in Philadelphia. So see, there they say, oh, she fell out of the car, she hit her head. Now with Malinda, they say, oops, she had a bike crash and also had a water slide accident. Right. Parrish told the judge how he stopped by the Warrens' home later that night to question them about Jessica's injury and found them getting ready for bed instead of at their daughter's side in the hospital. He told how the Warrens showed little reaction the next day when he told them that Jessica had died at the hospital. In September of 1999, Jessica's mother, Veronica Bock, was sentenced to time in jail after pleading guilty to endangering a child's welfare. Jessica went to live with Bock's brother and his wife, Warren, later asserted his parental rights and gained custody of Jessica. I want to link this whole article for you. It's very long, but you can see what I mean is that the Cindy Warren is definitely, she should never have had any children in her care, right? My word. Okay, so we've got that one. And we've looked at that court docket. I just want to show you this one as well, because sometimes there's a few more details along the way. Okay, and thank you to everyone who's, okay, wait, my mouse is just frozen. Why? Am I frozen? Are we good? What is happening? Stand by. Is my mouse dead now? Shame. Okay, hold on. Can't do much if it's not working. Plug it in. Are we good, buddy? There we go. Just needed some power, I think. Okay. So now I've got to be careful because I just have to resize this for you without bumping anything. Hold on. Okay. So, father-girlfriend arrested for kidnapping, mistreatment of 12-year-old in Chester County. Here they say a 12-year-old girl is dead after being tormented by her father and his girlfriend for months, according to officials in Chester County. Authorities charged the pair for the girl's killing. Attempted so far. Chester County District Attorney Christopher L. Barrena-Sarobe said that when the officers and first responders found the girl on Saturday, she had numerous broken bones and was barely alive. Investigators say they found deleted cell phone videos that showed the abuse and torture that was ongoing and systematic. Doctors found a child who was emaciated. She weighed 50 pounds. She was covered in bruises. She had half dozen broken bones at least. Her organs were failing, and ultimately she died while she was being treated at the hospital. Right now, there aren't any answers as to why Malinda Hoagland was treated this way by her father, Rendell Hoagland, and his girlfriend, Cindy Warren. But Chester County's district attorney said there were enough answers to charge the two people for the girl's death. The two subjected the girl to evil, Malinda, to evil and torment that no child should ever have to endure. And they did it for months. Hoagland and Warren are each facing attempted criminal homicide, assault, kidnapping, and all the other charges I just showed you. This all stemmed from a 911 call on Saturday, May 4th, when Hoagland called police and told them that his daughter was riding her bicycle and hit a tree. See, there's another story. Just hit a tree, which knocked her unconscious, the criminal complaint says. See, I want the criminal complaint. West Caln police said Hoagland called saying that his daughter was unconscious and unresponsive. While she was taken to the trauma center at a nearby hospital, authorities opened an investigation. Police slowly learned that Malinda had been pulled out of middle school in late November and early December and shifted to an online cyber school. She was virtually showing up on camera based on some of the videos that we reviewed, but she was shackled below from where the camera was. Literally shackled while doing her online classes. Shauna said earlier that is why to teach the DV distress signal, or like this emergency distress signal, right? Like this. Because maybe, I don't know if the parents would have known it, but maybe on like a virtual, if she had a moment, if you can do that and people know what it is, maybe that could help. You know, just make sure you teach kids that as well. Not to just use whenever, when one is in an emergency situation, in distress, need help, need the police, right? So they say the criminal complaint states that Malinda was often shackled in the basement of the home as well. Investigators have been combing through the cell phones of the couple and say that Warren deleted several texts with Hoagland. Meanwhile, on both phones, police found dozens of deleted videos from the couple's in-home camera system that had speakers attached. Those videos showed that Malinda was ankle-cuffed to furniture and verbally berated by the defendants through that in-camera system. So freaking weird. The video showed that they would punish her by demanding strenuous exercise such as squats and running in place while she was still shackled. And they showed that she would be punished for slights by being denied food. The couple was arrested Monday night and jailed on $1 million cash bond each. Online court records don't list an attorney who would comment for either person. Yeah, shame. Good luck to those attorneys. The district attorney's office will decide whether to charge them with murder after all the evidence is reviewed as they wait for medical reports to come back. Malinda Hoagland was a student at the Coatesville Area School District from spring of 2022 through December of 2023. Our staff diligently reported concerns about her welfare. We just read that, right? The district attorney said that Warren's 9-year-old son was in the home, but he appears, that he was treated well and he's unharmed. Back in 2009, Warren was sentenced for a different child abuse case, we just looked at that, where authorities say that she lied about her then-husband abusing her son and stepdaughter and refused to say that he caused the girl's death. And then all these numbers I've listed in the description box for you, okay? So let me just quickly see what was sent to me. Is it this one? Wait. No, I think we actually looked at all of them. Okay, so I've got a little clip to play for you here. Play the clip.
Yeah, sadly it was. So investigators believe this abuse happened over the past several months since the 12-year-old girl was pulled out of school to be homeschooled at the beginning of the year. Now, their investigation just started on Saturday night, so they are still waiting on and pouring through dozens of evidence, including a ton of videos from the home, very disturbing videos from the home. Again, we want to warn you, these details are difficult to hear.
I think we've all asked ourselves over the past few days, like when the last time Malinda was ever loved.
The Chester County District Attorney's Office provided this picture of 12-year-old Malinda Hoagland. Investigators say she died Saturday night after months of torture by her biological father and father's girlfriend.
Rendell Hoagland and Cindy Warren subjected Malinda to evil and torment that no child should ever have to endure.
The DA says Rendell Hoagland called 911 around 7:30 Saturday, saying his daughter was unconscious at their home on Reed Road in West Caln Township. Malinda was rushed to the hospital but did not survive. Documents say Hoagland told police that his daughter was injured on a water slide and while riding her mountain bike during a weekend camping trip at Yogi Bear's Jellystone Camp Resort in Quarryville.
Doctors found a child that was emaciated. She weighed 50 pounds. She was covered in bruises. She had a half-dozen broken bones at least. Her organs were failing.
Investigators say Malinda was pulled out of North Brandywine Middle School and shifted to online cyber school in January of this year. And a search found dozens of videos recorded in the months after from Hoagland's in-home camera system, where investigators say the couple shackled Malinda to furniture.
It's a beautiful looking home. You would never know. You can't judge a book by its cover, not even a home by its cover. You don't know what's going on in that home. I just mean, like, look at this neighborhood. Look at the house. My word.
and verbally berated her through a speaker system for hours.
The video showed that they would punish her by demanding strenuous physical exercise, such as squats and running in place while she was still shackled. That she would be punished for perceived slights by being denied food, sometimes for days.
Just wanted to see if you had any comment.
I don't.
A person that answered the door at Hoagland's home did not want to comment. Documents say Warren has a prior conviction for endangering the welfare of a child.
Like, who the hell was that person, right? Slamming the door like that. Okay, I've got, I think, 2 more things to show you, so just hang in there, everybody. Actually, there's if you want all the information, we're going over all these articles. Thank you, Annie P, for your emails as well. So, somebody, Annie actually sent me this one. Shock, outrage from Scotty's brother's parents over West Caln girl's death. Okay, let's have a look. Who's Scotty? Okay, we're quickly going to look at this article here. We've got one more as well. Yeah, Tiff Knox says, WTF is wrong with these people. It's bad, right? The adoptive parents of this, the adoptive parents of the surviving older brother of child murder victim, Scotty McMillan, were horrified last week to learn that another child had fallen victim to fatal physical abuse at the hands of adults in the same Chester County town, and under similar circumstances as to what their son endured almost 10 years ago. It shocks me that this abuse can happen in our county and that the schools don't pick it up, said the father of Scotty's older brother, who will turn 16 later this year. I don't understand how this can happen. I don't want to blame the schools necessarily, added the boy's mother, but if you can put the child in a cyber school where they are not supervised, that ought to send up red flags. Yeah, I think so as well. Okay. Narissa said, video proof? Why would they video it? Do you think they watch it later for play? I don't know. My mind can't even go there right now. That's terrible. But maybe. I don't know why. So, they said on Tuesday, the district attorney, we went over this, right? We went over all of this. So they were just saying outrage there. And we've looked at the previous charges. Scotty's brother's mother said that the abusive behavior can, in some cases, be hidden by the perpetrators when they isolate the child from the outside, much like Malinda's father did by entering her in cyber school. Absolutely. Authorities agreed. In his written arrest affidavit for Hoagland and Warren, Chester County Detective Bernard Martin, who is leading the investigation, wrote that Warren and Hoagland secluded the girl from mandatory reporters and others who may have offered her assistance in order to physically abuse and torment the child, and used her seclusion to facilitate their crimes on an ongoing basis over a period of several months. They acted in concert with the intention of terrorizing and abusing this child and continued their actions until the child's death, he said. Scotty's brother's parents, who live in the Chester Springs area, said in an interview Friday that they had not known of the death of 12-year-old Malinda Hoagland until a reporter called them about their case. Their week they'd been busy celebrating the college graduation of one of the other children. I'm going to link all this for you. I don't want to take up too much of your time reading through everything. We've got so many things here. There's just this one as well, the Philadelphia Inquirer, which is always very informative too. I remember that from the Cavalcante case as well, right? I did show it, Katie, I can show it again. This is it. I showed it during the stream about 5 minutes ago, but this is it. The DV distress signal, you can do it with either hand. So it's thumb like this. There you go. Okay, make sure you teach it to people. Kids can learn it, adults can learn it, anyone can learn it. The more people that know, if they see anyone doing that, let's say if Malinda had known it and she had found a moment to do that, well, one would hope that the person seeing it would know what it means, right? So that's why I always like to spread awareness about that. What does it mean? Call 911, call the police. They are asking for help. They're in trouble. Marjorie said, may you all continue to bring forth the evilness against innocent loved ones and bring closure to so many families, just as you have done for mine. Thank you so much for being here, Marjorie. Hashtag Markeisha Williams. Oh my word. Thank you for being here with us. I really appreciate that. And thinking of you. Oh my goodness. Wow. Sure. Okay, so a West Caln couple who police say tortured and starved the man's 12-year-old daughter during months of abuse that ultimately led to a death were charged with attempted murder on Tuesday. We'll see if they eventually get charged with murder. Rendell Hoagland, 52, and his girlfriend, Cindy Warren, 45, chained Malinda Hoagland to an air hockey table and other furniture and forced her to perform hours of calisthenics. Okay, as a form of punishment, according to the affidavit of probable cause for their arrest. The couple also withheld food from the girl, keeping their pantry padlocked, police said. My word. I'm just like so amazed by this message and sticker. Thank you so much. If you guys haven't heard of Markeisha Williams' case, please check it out. Okay, there's coverage of that as well to learn all about her. So, oh man, they said the couple also withheld food from the girl, keeping their pantry padlocked, police said. See, that reminded me of that Shanda van der Ark perpetrator. Remember her? I didn't cover that. That was very, very bad. The couple were also charged with kidnapping, aggravated assaults, related crimes. They remained in custody Tuesday on a $1 million bail. There was no indication that either had hired an attorney. Malinda was broken and just barely alive when medics called by her father arrived at the couple's home on Saturday. They subjected her to evil and torment that no child should ever have to endure, and they did this for months. The prosecutor said the investigation was continuing and that additional charges, including murder, may be filed. I mean, can you imagine the people, the investigators that have to work through all that footage? Oh, that is devastating. I know that's their job, that's what they do, that's what they sign up to do, but sometimes it must really be really upsetting, right? So the rest, I think we do know as well. They said here, doctors believe the injuries were the result of sustained child abuse and neglect, saying her injury should not occur in this country. In any country, according to the affidavit. Hoagland Warren told detectives she sustained all of her injuries after falling off a mountain bike and getting accidentally struck by another child on a water slide at a camping resort in Quarryville. That's what they say. Some other child struck her on a water slide and she also fell off her bike. Dumbasses, right? Oh my goodness. She'd been losing weight steadily, they say, over the last 2 months, and that they plan to see a doctor in the Pocono Mountains in the coming weeks. But detectives discovered more than 100 videos recorded by the couple's security system that depicted them verbally and physically abusing the girl between January and May. That's why on the charges, on that docket one, you can see it also says 1/1/2024. So I'm guessing that's the evidence they had when the video started. They also found that Warren had deleted all of her texts with Hoagland sent before he made the initial 911 call about his daughter. Some of those were later recovered by detectives and included conversations between the two discussing Malinda's worsening condition. In one conversation, shortly before Hoagland called 911, Warren, the girlfriend, tells him to run the girl to the hospital himself instead. What? Later, in a statement to detectives, Hoagland said that he'd pulled Malinda out of North Brandywine Middle School in January after learning that she had been selling snacks to her classmates. Okay, sir, is that a crime? Like, what the hell? Maybe she was, I don't know. Maybe he made her do that. How do we know? But he's like, that's it. You're selling snacks. I'm pulling you out of school. You're right. It sounds more like CPS was called on them. Since then, the girl had been attending a cyber charter school, taking classes online. Isn't it so sad when anyone gets isolated and abused, but children getting completely isolated in plain sight and then abused for months? And it's like nobody knows, right? Oh my goodness. So if you have that gut feel, you know, if some of our teachers were like, damn, we should report this because they say they did report it. Maybe, and I'm not faulting them now. I'm just saying, what can we learn from this? If you still got that gut feel, you're like, maybe I should check on them again. Maybe I should go knock on the door. Maybe I should call the police. Maybe I should be like, hey, you really need to go and do a welfare check over there. Yeah, Hope and Fear is like selling snacks. I know, right? That sounds like another dumb story from him. Like, she was selling snacks at school. Taking her out of school. Like, what is that? What goes on in these people's minds? So they said, the DA said that Malinda had incredibly limited access to the outside world the moment that she was pulled out of school. And he said they believe her abuse at the couple's hands began not long after. She was pulled out at the end of November, right? Some of the video footage pulled from the home surveillance camera showed Malinda being taunted by her father and Miller, forced to do squats, march in place, hold her hands above her head, and perform other exercises for hours while chained by her ankle to furniture, the affidavit said. In other clips, the girl is seen being forced to sleep on the floor, still chained without a blanket or pillow. They tell the girl not to expect to be fed breakfast, lunch, or dinner, according to the affidavit. This is not an easy case, and there is assuredly a lot more work to do, said the district attorney, but together we will get justice for Malinda. Court records show that Warren pleaded guilty to endangering the welfare of a child in Monroe County in 2009. In that case, Warren's ex-husband, McKinley Warren Jr., beat their son, who was then 3 years old, and killed a little girl. We just read that. Warren was then sentenced, the girlfriend was sentenced to 3 to 7 years in prison and was released after 3 years. Her ex-husband also pleaded guilty to killing his 2-year-old daughter from a previous relationship and is currently serving a 25 to 50 year sentence in state prison. Wow. Okay. Let's just see. Oh yeah, we did see this already. Oh, this is Scott. Scotty McMillan died of abuse, but his older brother survived. Shame. I don't know about this case, but it's same county. Wow. So this is a different case, but people in Chester County are outraged. All right, so let me just quickly check something. All right. So I think I've actually shown everything. Thank you so much, everyone, for the emails that you're sending as well. This is just, isn't it? It's just, I mean, there's no words. It's devastating. This is terrible and should have never happened. And yet we see many cases like this, and it's very, very sad. I don't know. I hope that they are able to charge them with murder because they are responsible for her death. Right? Based on everything we know, based on the evidence they say they have. Although the district attorney reminded everyone they are innocent until proven guilty. In my opinion, is the legally correct way to say this. I think they're very guilty. Based on everything that we've just heard the district attorney say. So I'm going to link everything for you. If you want to read any more, go check it out. Remember that blue is the color that they are using to honor beautiful Malinda with. So if you share on social media, you could also share blue hearts or something like that in your own way. Maybe light a blue candle for her or something. If you want to tag me on it, you can as well. I know lots of Grizzlies on X. My handle's @TrueCrimeGizzler. You could find me there and then I can repost. Okay, so sorry if I missed a lot of your comments there as I was focused on this case here. Natural Ginger said, where's her mother? The district attorney said at the press conference elsewhere in Pennsylvania, so I'm not too sure what the circumstances are there. I don't know. Okay. So, I appreciate you all being here. There's nothing more I could say except how very sad. We could teach people this. If you see something, say something. And the numbers that you can call is for USA rights. I know we're an international audience, but it's the numbers that the district attorney in this case shared are in the description box below for you. All right, everyone, I'll keep you posted. As I say, if I manage to get the 911 call or any body cam or the probable cause affidavit or whatever it is, if we see them in court on Monday and there's anything interesting to share, I will keep you posted, okay? Make sure you are subscribed, put all the notifications on so that you don't miss out. Thank you so much, mods. Thank you, everyone, and see you again very soon. Stay safe.